L.O.T.S Approved Media, Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast, episode number 53. Hello. Good evening, my good people. This is the L.O.T.S Approved Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast, episode number 53. All right. I am the incomparable, the author imitated, but cannot be duplicated. You know what it's hitting for. The elected, the appointed, street general, street appointed, the one they keep taking their style from, that part. I just want to welcome everybody to the greatest show on earth. Now I want the room to start filling up. Let's see this room fill up. We got the intro music playing, you heard? Now you guys keep in mind we're streaming live on all platforms. We're streaming live on YouTube. We're streaming live on Facebook. We're streaming live on Twitter. Do you understand me? I need everybody, don't be a ninja watcher. That's a person that be creeping and watching. Don't be no pocket watcher. That's just a hater. And you definitely don't want to be one of these. That is what we call the peeping Tom, ladies and gentlemen. That part. L.O.T.S Approved Media. L.O.T.S Approved Media. This is the Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast, episode number 53. You guys do me a favor, as soon as you come to the building, leave a comment in the comment section as soon as you come into the building. Immediately. All right? You want that thumbs up. That thumbs up, that's considered wiping your feet on the rug. Same way you do at your grandparents' house, you do at your hopefully you do that at your grandparents' house. Hopefully you have some type of respect for your grandparents. And you hit that like button, that thumbs up. We in the building. All right? You guys, like I said, leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know you in the building. That part. We call that leaving your fingerprint. Leave your fingerprint there for me, all right? Let's see some comments. What's going on here? StreamYard in the building, yo. StreamYard's in the building. Now, listen, this is a very eventful week. This is a very eventful week. Thank you, everybody. Keep them lights coming. Keep them lights coming. Thank you, everybody. All right? Like I said, don't be a ninja watcher. Make sure you guys are participating with this. And with that being said, I'm going to cut off this intro music. So I want to speak to you guys. Bada bing, bada bang. What's going on, y'all? Eventful week. This is an eventful week. All right. I'm gonna let you guys go into the weekend with the weekly roundup. Now, first of all, I want to give a big shout out. This guy deserves a big shout out. Recently, he's been released. All right. A legend. He's considered a legend out of New Orleans. He's been locked up for about 11 years now. All right? We've all been anticipating his coming home. Pause. All right? Without no further ado, BG is home. Cash Money, BG is home. All right? Let's get some horns for my mans, because he deserves that. Facts, gunshots, and drop a bomb. Drop a couple bombs. Drop a couple bombs for BG. We happy you home on behalf of L.O.T.S Approved Media, brother. I just want to say congratulations. We're happy that BG is home. All right? 11 years. That's a lot of years. Shout out to BG. We'll speak about that later. Definitely we got to speak about Krayshawn Rock. Yeah. Krayshawn Rock and Blueface. Let's give some more. I think we need some more horns. Shout out to the new baby on board. They have a new baby boy. Krayshawn Rock and Blueface, all right? Let the horns go off for that, man. Shout out to Krayshawn Rock and Blueface, that part. Like I said, you guys, this is a very eventful week. We're going to dip and dive into different things, all right? For the most part, I'm happy that you guys are here to enjoy this with me. Like I said, no matter what, if we have one person in the building or we got 1,000 people in the building, it's highly, you guys are highly appreciated, all right? Let's start off with Krayshawn Rock and Blueface, just starting off. All right. Let's check out this comment section. Planet, goddammit. BG is home. That part. BG Cash Money is home. Shout out to Planet, goddammit. We in the building, all right? And we'll speak about BG. Right now, I just want to get to this Krayshawn Rock and this Blueface thing. All right, you guys are familiar with the whole Krayshawn Rock and the Blueface story. It's the great ghetto story, the Romeo and Juliet story, right? It's a little bit of kinks within that story. It's not the conventional story, but nonetheless, it's very captivating, very entertaining. First of all, I want to say congratulations. You guys are going to hear a lot of horns going off. I want to give a shout out and congratulations to Blueface and Krayshawn Rock on the new baby boy, the new addition to the family. All right. Facts though. Big up to Krayshawn Rock and big up to Blueface. Now, if you guys were not aware, Krayshawn Rock recently just gave birth to a new baby boy. Oh boy. Now, usually you guys, when you're having a baby, you expect for all parties to be inside the hospital when she's going into labor or actually when the baby's there. Now, keep in mind, sometimes we're not able to make it to the hospital in time. Us men, I don't know how your life is situated, how your life is structured, but sometimes it's not that easy to get there in place, especially if you haven't prepared properly, especially when there's not enough communication going back and forth, enough good communication. And it seems like they suffer from that. All right, so what I'm alluding to is Krayshawn Rock gave birth. Shout out to her again. Krayshawn Rock gave birth, but somebody was not in attendance. Somebody that you would expect to be in attendance, like the father, like Blueface, was not in attendance when the baby was born. Now, according to Krayshawn Rock, it was all subsequential. It was not deliberate, right? Krayshawn Rock was in Baltimore. Krayshawn Rock's originally from Baltimore, in which she chose to have the baby in Baltimore. Now, she's saying that it was subsequential. I don't know, for some reason she was in the area, she was in the state, she had some reason to be there. It wasn't deliberate, meaning she did not mean to not have the baby in LA, in California, with Blueface in proximity, right? She actually flew back home, Baltimore, where they say music and gear. They speak a little bit different in Baltimore, all right? With that being said, she flew back to Baltimore. She was home with her family. Krayshawn Rock went home with her family, her mother. Though the family, you've seen the arguments and stuff like that. You guys keep in mind, you might see people arguing online, family members arguing online, but keep in mind, when the shit hits the fan, family usually comes back together. So no matter how disruptive it seems, no matter how much it appears to be malfunctioning, how broken it appears, family will come through in the clutch at times. And it seems like this was the case with Blueface and Krayshawn. Now, the question is, well, there's a lot of people on both sides of the spectrum with this one. All right, so once again, Krayshawn Rock flew back to Baltimore, in which she went into labor. She had a beautiful baby boy. Now, she had a couple people in attendance. It looks like she had her godmother in attendance, which was surprising. Krayshawn has I don't know if it's an adopted family, a godparents, but it's a one white lady and a black man. Oh, no, excuse me, a white man, I think, or they might be both white, I'm not sure. But one of them is Caucasian. She was partially raised by a Caucasian couple. All right. Now, that couple was in attendance. Krayshawn's sisters were in attendance. Krayshawn's family was in attendance. Krayshawn's little brother was around her during the pregnancy. All right. Now, which is a great thing. She needs some type of support. But the question is, was it deliberate? Did Krayshawn deliberately leave Blueface out of the scenario? All right. Now, with that being said, Blueface seemingly was disappointed. Blueface himself, Blueface was in Miami. He was on our side. He was on our side of things. All right. Blueface is in Miami, and I think he's with his baby mother, the first original baby mother, Alexa. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with the name. You guys don't expect me always to have the names correct, because these people are not that relevant, other than it's really so much their story that's relevant. A lot of times we speak about these people, they're not that relevant in my life, right? Nonetheless, they're still, you know what I'm saying, they still God's child, they still deserve their respect. They're relevant in God's eyes, no matter how irrelevant they are to me. But what I'm trying to say, sometimes I do forget their names, all right? So Blueface's first baby mother, he's in Miami with her. So according to Blueface, he was out of pocket. He was out of range, right? He was in Miami. Now, Krayshawn Rock had this baby in Baltimore. Now, immediately, as soon as Krayshawn Rock had the baby, she went online. Krayshawn Rock is seen online with the baby. Krayshawn Rock is seen with multiple people holding the baby in their hand. Whoa. Krayshawn Rock had multiple people holding Blueface, a newborn baby child. Now, we have to approach this carefully because anytime you guys see on L.O.T.S approved media, anytime I'm speaking about children, I always make sure that I'm careful in speaking about children, right? These are delicate psyche, et cetera, et cetera. So we will approach this with a little bit of caution, right? Show some type of respect to Krayshawn and her situation and the child. But nonetheless, Krayshawn was seen with multiple people holding Blueface's child, in which Blueface did complain about that. Blueface is on his side of things, and Blueface complained about Krayshawn Rock having multiple people holding his child. Now, when I'm seeing this through Instagram, right? Social network, like everybody else is seeing, right? I'm seeing on social network, I'm seeing Krayshawn Rock. She had the baby, in which you see multiple people caressing and cradling the baby. All right. You guys know there's a germ factor there. You don't want multiple spiritual. There's a lot of different things. You don't want a newborn baby to come into contact with human beings and different peoples of different walks of life that expose themselves to certain things, and therefore subsequently is going to expose whatever they're going through. The baby shall be exposed subsequently, inadvertently, to that also. So that's what you're trying to prevent. You don't want a newborn child constantly around new people, in which that was the case. All right. Also, Blueface had a couple valid complaints. We got to really unpack this. All right. So first of all, Blueface spoke about multiple people holding the baby. All right. Also, you see Krayshawn already created an Instagram for the baby. Now, me, myself, I don't really see nothing wrong. I don't know if you guys see anything wrong with a newborn child having an Instagram, but nonetheless, the child does have an Instagram. It's almost at 1 million followers. All right. Blueface, he found something wrong with that. Now, ironically enough, Krayshawn Rock is complaining about Blueface's clout chasing. All right. Krayshawn Rock feels that Blueface is clout chasing, that Blueface basically is making it a social network thing. He's monetizing the whole experience, in which she feels like that's not genuine. So Krayshawn Rock is accusing Blueface of trying to monetize and clout chase the birth of the child, as well as her exploiting her, right? Nonetheless, I don't know if she's right about that. I could agree with her a little bit. Maybe I don't agree with her but you guys both, they signed up for this. But nonetheless, ironically enough, Krayshawn Rock has capitalized off of the baby. Krayshawn Rock now has the baby with an Instagram. Okay. She's constantly showing pictures of the baby. So she somewhat has monetized the baby also. All right. Now, that's not the only factor with Krayshawn Rock and Blueface. But Blueface has made some valid points about this whole situation. All right. Now, not to be long-winded, but there's something big about this situation. All right. Blueface, now, you would think as a father the baby would be named after you, that you have a son. You expect that if you have a child with a woman and the child is going to be a junior, you expect the child to be named after you as a man, traditionally, right? Traditionally. But now in these days and times, everything is not traditional, obviously, right? So now, Krayshawn Rock went as far as to name the child after herself. Now, Blueface's name is Jonathan. All right? This is a male child. She went as far as to name the child Krayshawn Rock. Now, hold up. I've seen men named. There's some names out here that men and women can use, right? I don't know how you would call that, unisex names, like a Stacy. I've seen women named Stacy. I've seen men named Stacy. All right. So with that being said, this looks like that's one of those situations. But most importantly, what I'm trying to get to is there was a lot of despiteful things that took place. What's up, Tosh in the building? Shout out to everybody in the building. What's up, Tosh? Shout out to Rudolph Ballmere. Shout out to Planet Goddammit in the building. Facts though. All right. You guys, we on right now. I know you guys expected me to come on at 7, but we know we come on at different times. Nonetheless, I like to see you guys are checking in. All right. So now, Blueface, Krayshawn Rock named the child after herself. Guys, this is what we need to get to. All right. There's tradition. There's tradition out here, right? rightfully so. Women, first of all, she took the baby and flew to Baltimore and had the baby unbeknownst to Blueface. Blueface probably seen this probably off of social network, knowing that his baby mother's actually having his child. All right. Then she went as far as to name the child. She went as far as to name the child after herself. So Krayshawn Rock flew to Baltimore to be with her family. Not that bad. Actually named the child after herself. All right. And monetized the child. As so far, she's monetized the child also. Krayshawn Rock has a Instagram for the child. So you named the child after yourself. You had the child privately. And you monetized the child without the father's permission or awareness. Blueface was not aware of this. He's finding this out through Instagram. When it seems like when Blueface is figuring this out, it's at the same time we're figuring it out when it's coming off of the internet. All right. So this, when you're looking at this, it seems like Krayshawn Rock definitely got Blueface. I don't know what y'all think. You guys let me know how you feel. But how I'm looking at it is Krayshawn Rock, she kind of won. Blueface, I'm not gonna lie to you, Jonathan. Krayshawn Rock kind of won in this situation. All right. This we gotta unpack this. All right, so you're looking at the timeline. You meet this girl. You brought this girl into your world, blues girls. You stamped the girl. You co-signed the girl. You clouded Krayshawn up. Now, throughout your journey, the relationship with Blueface and Krayshawn is kind of weird because Blueface approaches it kind of like a pimp. Blueface approaches the baby mothers like a pimp. But the thing is, it's kind of, I'm not going to go as far. I'm going to fall back on that because I like Blueface. I'm not going to condemn. I kind of like Blueface. And Blueface is young. So guys, keep in mind, these are young people that are having these experiences. So us older people that are much wiser, we can't really be so judgmental in reference to these younger kids. All right. So Blueface is still a kid. All right. He's still young. He's not a kid per se, but he's still young. Plenty room for mistakes. All right. So with that being said, Blueface is under this impression that he's a pimp. And Blueface is mixing pleasure. He's mixing business with pleasure. All right. You're having babies with your business. You got your dick in the register. There's a term out here, keep your dick out the register. That's a term that I always heard as a child while we hustling. Make sure the term keep your dick out of the register means when you're doing whatever you're doing, try not to mix business with pleasure. When you're dealing with business has to be as stable as possible. You don't want business to be volatile. You don't want business to be unpredictable, unstable. And when you add in pleasure to business, pleasure being a woman, you're dealing with an emotional vessel. So with emotions is like the ocean. You can't really tell how the tidal waves, how they're going to crash at times, right? It's kind of hard to predict how the waves are going to go, right? Because you're dealing with a big ocean with a lot of motion. And that's how women are. So you got to be careful when mixing business with pleasure because your business will become unstable when you stick your dick in the register. That's a lesson to you guys, all right? You deal with emotions. All right, so with that being said, Krayshawn Rock, she named the child after herself. All right, Blueface. Now, Blueface, let's fast forward this. All right, so now Blueface is screaming he doesn't want to see nobody holding his child, which Blueface is not wrong. Nobody should be holding Blueface's child. I'm going to be real with you. He's not wrong for that. Krayshawn Rock flying to have the child on her own. I'm not arguing with Krayshawn Rock about that. You know what I mean? Because to be honest with you, they both seemingly did not want to have this child, right? And mind you guys, they're young. So I'm not faulting them for having skepticism about having a child, all right? Being skeptical, knowing about their relationship, how strong their relationship was with all the things that are take in consideration with their relationship with infidelity, mistrust, and disloyalty. There's a lot of that in Krayshawn Rock and Blueface's relationship. Though Krayshawn has a lot of Blueface's tattoo, that doesn't mean loyalty necessarily, right? It could be obsession. It could be, she could just be obsessed with Blueface. And there's a lot of validity to that because she went as far as to have a child, the guy, and she's willing to erase him. But I'm not going to say that in the beginning because you got to give him a little time. Krayshawn Rock is doing a lot of things, but I'm not sure if Krayshawn Rock is going to be able to stand on stand on everything that she's saying, because she's making some big decisions that are Krayshawn Rock's gonna face some type of repercussions for the decision that she's made with Blueface and that child. Nonetheless, and I don't know from here. I don't know where this is gonna go, but we're praying, we hoping. Yeah, we pray here. We hoping that Krayshawn Rock and Blueface can get this resolved. All right, because there is a child involved. All right, Krayshawn Rock and Blueface on the business level, that has deteriorated. Krayshawn Rock and Blueface are no longer going to be doing business together, and there's no possibility of a relationship. And I'm saying here on L.O.T.S approved media. All right, on Don't Shoot the Messenger. There's no they're not going to be able to reconcile. Krayshawn Rock and Blueface are not going to be able to reconcile. All right. This is probably the ending of their romantic relationship, just to be honest. But nonetheless, I want to give shout out to Blueface. Shout out to Krayshawn Rock on the new baby. Shout out to Blueface with the new baby, the new addition. He already has 2 childs with the prior baby mother. I see him doing stuff with the new baby mother. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully things can go right. Hopefully things will go right. All right. Now, that's enough about that Blueface and Krayshawn Rock. Oh, and shout out to Krayshawn Rock. She had over 130,000, damn near 200,000 people in the building on Instagram on her live after she had that baby, or during when she was pushing the baby. So not to extend the subject, but Krayshawn Rock, Blueface created something that he can't stop. Krayshawn Rock right now is bigger than Blueface. And it's just evident. It is what it is, and he has to move on. Krayshawn Rock is loved beyond hip-hop. Krayshawn Rock has a fan base that extends beyond hip-hop. All right? Blueface introduced her to that fan base, as well as she introduced Blueface to that fan base, but they're more in favor of Krayshawn Rock. When you look at Blueface's comment section, Krayshawn Rock's followers are all in his comment section, spam his comment section. All right? So she has a fan base. Krayshawn Rock is she's big. She's a big deal right now. All right? But enough about that. Moving on. Guys, we gotta give a big shout out. I am the street general, the elected, the appointed. Just to reset the building, this is the Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast, episode number 53. This is powered by L.O.T.S approved media. I'm the incomparable, the author imitated but cannot be duplicated, the one they took their style from, the street elected, appointed. All right, I'm the one that keeps creating it, the one that, and they just keep taking it. That part. You guys, once again, make sure you guys are hitting that like button when you come in the building. Now, I want to give a big, yo, bring the horns out for me. Bring the horns out, bring the guns out, bring the guns out. Drop the bomb, drop a definite bomb. Yo, listen. BG is home. Cash Money, legendary 1/4 member of the Hot Boys. BG, baby gangster, B Jizzle is back home. All right, now let me get an applause for that, brother. I need applause for Jizzle. Facts though, big applause for B Jizzle, baby gangster. Now you guys know BG. He's been locked up for about 11 years. That's a lot of time. BG did a lot of time. I just want to congratulate him, man. I want to give him his flowers. Like I told you guys, BG is 1/4 member of the legendary group Hot Boys that consists of Juvenile, Turk, and Lil Wayne. All right. Some might argue that Baby was a part of Hot Boys also. All right. Nonetheless, I ain't mad at that. BG is back home. We've been waiting for BG to come back home. This has been spoken about for a long time. BG, Cash Money BG. There was times there was a lot of false alarms, right? We thought he was been coming home prior to him being released, but they were all false alarms. False alarms. So you guys, BG is officially back home. What do you guys feel about that? That's 11 years. So that's 10 and add that extra 1. 11 years. Guys, most rappers that do 10 years or more in prison, they basically can't get back into their groove. Let's just be honest. It takes a while for an artist the more years that you spend locked up, incarcerated, the less likely, the less probability that you will rise back to where you was in ranks. All right? So BG, Cash Money, is home. BG is home, y'all. But my question is, let's not even go into all the speculation about BG. Let's just talk about his journey. 11 years. All right? They were taking care of him. When you see BG got released, BG came off of the escalator. He was met by Hot Bizzle, HB. Now, Hot Bizzle that's a member of Cash Money. That's Baby, self-proclaimed best friend. Hot Bizzle is Baby's best friend. All right? Now, you see Hot Bizzle, he greeted B Jizzle as he was coming down the escalator. Jizzle came down the escalator, rightfully so. All right, he was greeted with hugs, but it wasn't a warm feeling between him and Hot Bizzle. When BG came down that escalator, the embracement of BG between BG and Hot Bizzle, he didn't seem too much to embrace him. But nonetheless, Baby came through and he gave Baby a big hug. All right. So Baby gave B Jizzle a big hug. So Baby met B Jizzle at the airport coming off of the plane. Rightfully so. So guys, that's a good indication. So all you guys that are Hot Boys fans, that are Cash Money fans, that's a great indication. That's an indication that something is brewing, right? Because we know at one point BG and Baby, they were not seeing eye to eye. BG and Baby wasn't seeing eye to eye at one moment, right? But now we're able to see that there was some type of embracement followed by awarding him with a pendant. All right? And maybe I should close my fingers a little bit. The pendant wasn't that big. Well, I can go up. All right. The pendant was that big, but it was very thin. It appeared to be very small. But nonetheless, he was greeted with a gift. Now, when I first seen the pendant, you guys, when I first seen the pendant that Baby handed BG, you guys know when rappers come home from jail, a lot of times they are forgotten. Majority of times rappers are forgotten by their friends as well as their label. Not that many rappers come home and are rewarded. We've seen rappers come home and come home on private jets. We've seen rappers come home to nothing. No greeting, no love, other than the fans on social network. All right? So it was good to see BG being rewarded. So when BG came down that escalator, I seen him coming smooth down the escalator. I thought BG would have been a little bit bigger because I know when cats be locked up, they be working out. BG didn't seem to be that big. All right? Though in the pictures is conflicting because the pictures are like BG was cut up. Like he toned up. I didn't see the tone, but mind you, he was wearing baggy clothes. So BG made his way down the escalator. He was greeted by Hot Bizzle. Thereafter, Baby, a couple minutes after, Baby pulls up. So now Baby pulls up on BG. Baby has a box with him in which he greets BG and he passes BG this box. All right, a little white box. Now, obviously, looking at the box, we knew it was a gift. Anybody would have seen that was a gift, right? Because we know how Cash Money do. It's Cash Money Records. Your man just did 11 years. You're the bar. You stunner man. You Cash Money ballers, big timer. So we expect you to have gifts. It's just rightfully so. So now BG proceeds to open his box. When BG opened the box, there was a small little pendant inside that box. You guys, when I looked at the pendant, I was disappointed. Nah, call me ignorant. You know, as rappers, we see rappers with big pendants. Now we know big pendants, sometimes big doesn't always mean quality. Big doesn't always add up to quality, right? So with that being said, I'm looking at the pendant. I seen the BG's pendant, that Cash Money pendant that Baby passed him. It had a lot of diamonds in it. All right. So I'm going to give Baby some credit. There was a lot of diamonds in BG's pendant. A lot of times people are wearing jewelry. Their jewelry appears to be big, but the quality is very low grade quality. So it's cheap. Though it looks great in your eyes, it doesn't have that value connected with it, right? So when I looked at BG, the little pendant, the little itty bitty pendant that Baby passed him, it still looked like it was expensive. Them diamonds was definitely, they was doing the merengue. The Diamonds definitely was doing the merengue. They was doing the salsa. The Diamonds were dancing, all right? So I give it credit to that. But it appeared to be very small. And ego-wise, to be honest with you, when BG opened that box, BG lacked in luster. BG was not excited about that pendant. Really, that pendant seemed like you was just branding him again. The pendant was just a representation of a branding. It's like you take some steak and you take your brand, L.O.T.S approved stamp, and you just branded BG again with the Cash Money, right? So I was under that impression, y'all. But I had to take time, give it time, you know. That's why I'm happy I'm able to give it to you guys now. So now when I see the pendant now, Baby followed up and he spoke, he whispered something to BG. Not necessarily whispered, but he was real close to him. He didn't say it very loud. In which he told BG, Baby told BG, check your bank account. I did you right. I did you right. Now, when Baby says check your bank account, I did you right, that hits different. Shout out to Baby, shout out to Cash Money, because I'm under the pressure. Somebody told me that Baby gave BG $1 million. Somebody told me that Baby from Ciamara gave BG $1 million. And if that's the case, though it might be fabricated, you guys, I don't have no confirmation on this. But if that's the case and Baby did give BG $1 million, that's love. I don't even care about that pendant no more. Because the pendant and the ice foolery, to be honest with you, a lot of times when people give black people jewelry, a lot of times they're being gaffled. They're being swindled, right? Because people know with the jewelry, people get blinded by jewelry. And a lot of times jewelry can compensate for good business. Meaning contractually, you might not be getting the best deal. But guess what? They hand you some jewelry. And that jewelry, you put the jewelry on and you start getting compliments from the jewelry. You start getting girls because they're looking at the jewelry, how it's glittering. And that sometimes that's enough until you realize that jewelry is not worth as much as the contract stipulations that you should have had them adhere to. Contraction, you can't make up for contracts with jewelry, is what I'm trying to say. All right. So the jewelry is that's to throw you off. So when I seen Baby passing BG the jewelry, that wasn't a big thing to me. Like I said, I feel like that was a swindle. But I'm just saying, if there was no money involved, I'm not saying that Baby's trying to swindle him, but I was speculating, right? Rightfully so. I don't know the Cash Money dealings. I only know what we see on the internet. All right. But nonetheless, guys, BG is home. Shout out to BG. He was met by Baby. He was gifted a pendant without the chain. That's cool because reports are saying that Baby dropped $1 million in BG's account. That part, man, and big up to Baby. I appreciate that. I really don't like when our rappers come home and they don't get their love. It's kind of sad because we enjoy hip-hop, brother. I'm going to be real with you. I am a hip-hop enthusiast. I love hip-hop. So I look at these artists and stuff like that. I like to see them coming out in good condition so they can continue to provide us with that quality music. So with that being said, we hoping that BG gets back in the studio. Baby has already been speaking about the Cash Money reunion, all right? So what Baby is setting BG up for is the Cash Money reunion, apparently. And we all knew this prior to BG coming home, that Baby was trying to get Cash Money back together, all right? Obviously, they couldn't do that until BG was able to come back home. Well, BG is home now. So we're looking forward to that Cash Money project. But, pause on that, all right? You guys, Cash Money is 4 to 5 members. Like I said, we add Baby in there. I think not Cash Money, excuse me. Hot Boys is 4 to 5 members, so some people add Baby to that scenario. There's an individual that goes by the name of Turk. Now, Turk, as of recently, hasn't been getting along with BG. Also, Turk sued Baby Cash Money. So Turk won $1 million lawsuit, maybe more than $1 million. I'm not sure the exact numbers. But currently, Turk is not in good stance with BG. He's not in good stance with Baby. So now we don't know if Turk is going to be able to make amends in time for the reunion of the Cash Money project. But, baby, I'm going to tell you, baby, straight up, Cash Money is not a reunion without Turk. There's no Cash Money reunion without Turk. Beat it up, tell them to stop. Turk got the hottest record on Project Chick. Listen, man, Turk got some of the hottest rhymes on certain shit. So if you cannot remove Turk from Hot Boys. Turk has some of the hottest verses in those collaborations. You know, I can't recall all the verses, y'all. I can't recall all the verses. I'm not gonna butcher it, but Turk has the hardest verses. All right. So shout out to Turk. There's no Cash Money reunion without Turk. The same way there was no Cash Money reunion. Well, Cash Money. There's no Hot Boys reunion without Turk. Nor there was no reunion without BG. All right. In order to have an official Hot Boys reunion, we gotta have Juvenile. All right, Juve. We gotta have Lil Wayne. You know what I mean? Young Moolah. We have to have BG, and we definitely have to have Turk. All right, in order to have an official Hot Boys reunion. We don't necessarily need Baby to have a Hot Boys reunion other than signing off on it. But visuals, we don't necessarily need Baby in a Hot Boys reunion. No disrespect to Baby, because he's the key component to Hot Boys. He came up with the name for Hot Boys for them. He's the one that designed their whole type of like their image. So there's no Hot Boys without Baby. Honestly, to be honest. But I'm talking about in the visual of the rapping part, the entertainment part, we don't necessarily need Baby. Baby's probably the only expendable one. But in order to have an official Hot Boys reunion, we got to have Juvie, BG, Wayne, and Turk in order to have official Hot Boys reunion. Right now, Turk name is in jeopardy right now with Baby. Turk and Baby are not seeing eye to eye, as well as BG and Turk are not seeing eye to eye. And you guys seen Turk has been very vocal. Turk has been one of the most vocal Hot Boy members as of recently. And Turk, a lot of times, he reveals a lot of things about a lot of misconceptions about Hot Boys. All right. Turk, he answers a lot of questions that we didn't know about. And he also reveals things about Hot Boys that we didn't know either, about Cash Money Records. So nonetheless, Turk might be a threat to the Hot Boys, to Cash Money. Who knows? But one thing I do know, they need to have, in order to have official reunion, they're going to have to bring Turk back in, all right? So shout out to Turk, shout out to Juvie, shout out to Wayne, and shout out to BG. Listen, BG is home. Facts, B Jizzle's home, and that's a great thing, my brother. One thing I want to see too. The only thing that I want to see is BG gonna be able to return back to his status? Meaning, he's a social icon. BG is a icon on a hip hop level, though might not be on a pop level, but hip hop, urban, he's a legend, right? I think he has some type of title for one of his albums, something legend, something like that, urban legend, something like that, or maybe that's T.I. I'm not sure. But nonetheless, BG is a legend. So most rappers, when they get out of jail, it depends on how much time you do. All the rappers that I've seen that's did more than 5 to 6 years, 5 to 6 years, you can return. I've seen rappers, let's break it down. Rappers that do 3 years to 5 years incarcerated, whether it be feds or state. Most rappers that do 3 to 5 years, they're able to return and get back their spot. In hip-hop, it's hard to get back your spot. I'm going to tell y'all the real L.O.T.S approved media. Remember, you heard it here first. In hip-hop, most rappers that go to jail from 3 to 5 years, they're able to return and retain their spot, to obtain their spot once again. It's not a long time, but a lot of times when you do more time than that, there's other variables that come to consideration in returning to that spot. All right, and we'll break that down. But for the most part, when you do 3 to 5 years in hip hop, when you're talking about 3 to 5 years incarceration, you're usually able to find your style again. You're usually able to get back to where you were, right? Let's give some examples. How about Roddy Rebel and Bobby Shmurda? All right, now you see Bobby. Shout out to Bobby. A lot of people complaining about Bobby woo-de-woo, right? Some people say Bobby has not returned back to his spot that he was originally. Bobby was damn near taking over the industry. All right. Some say when he got released, the sound wasn't sounding the same. The quality of the sound wasn't the same. But to Bobby's defense, to me, Bobby found his style. Bobby did not know his style. Bobby's not a conventional rapper. Bobby's being very natural and organic. So when Bobby gives you his style, Bobby was still finding his style when he made that song, Bobby Bitch, Bobby Bitch. Bobby used to be fire, but he was finding his style nonetheless. And that stopped midway through. Due to incarceration, he wasn't fully able to sustain, he wasn't fully able to bring his style into a full cipher, full fruition. His style was still in the development stages, is what I'm trying to say. All right. Now let's talk about Rowdy Rebel. Rowdy Rebel, same guy. Bobby Shmurda came out at the same time. Rowdy Rebel now, he's better than ever. Lyrically, Rowdy Rebel right now, lyrically, Rowdy is doing his numbers lyrically. All right, I see what you're doing, Rowdy. I see exactly what you're doing out there, brother. And you fire, homie. Rowdy Rebel is fire. It takes some time, but keep doing that. Keep producing that quality that you do. Because I can see that Rowdy Rebel, he has a thing for hip hop. Rowdy Rebel takes times with his lyrics. He got some lyrics. So shout out to Rowdy Rebel. All right. And I feel like Rowdy Rebel is rhyming longer than Bobby. For some reason, Rowdy always had the lyrics. Bobby, content-wise, Bobby was more energy. The lyrics was dope, but when you're talking about his friend, Rowdy Rebel is lyrical. And if you guys get a chance, go on social network and listen to some of Rowdy Rebel's music. All right, that's Bobby's homie. When they both came out of jail, Rowdy was able to go back into position. Rowdy is lyrically right back at where he was before he got incarcerated. And Rowdy probably is even a little bit better than when he got incarcerated right now. All right. So when I'm saying Rowdy has progressed, unlike Bobby, shout out to Bobby Shmurda. And I still believe in Bobby. To be honest with you, I still believe in Bobby. But I just feel like the industry is a machine, right? The industry is a machine. When you're an artist, when you take an artist and you try to confine him and you try to restrict the artist, that hinders their artistry. It hinders their creativity. So Bobby's just not in a good space right now. He's not in a good space like he was before, creativity-wise. But nonetheless, shout out to Bobby, because Bobby still has one of the hardest singles ever made in mankind, all right? Scientifically proven. Bobby Shmurda has one of the top 10 hip-hop singles of all time, no matter what. So Bobby Shmurda, even if Bobby Shmurda never returns back to his original position in hip-hop, Bobby Shmurda still has one of the best hip-hop singles ever known to hip-hop, all right? Scientifically proven. Scientifically. Have you ever seen a Bobby Shmurda song perform? The song where he throws his hat in the air, have you ever seen that perform in the club? Every time to this day, people still react to Bobby's music. So I don't know if BG's going to be able to return to that spot. That's the question. And we praying for BG. But most artists that I see do 10 years or more, they're unable to return back to that spot. All right. One person I'm gonna talk about, and we're gonna wrap this up right here about the BG coming home. But I had to stay on this because BG's a big deal. Hello. BG's home, and the streets gotta tell it. Shout out to B Jizzle. All right, and what we're speaking about is BG gonna be able to return back to his status, not his public status, because obviously that's not gonna change. He's a legend. And there's so many other things you could do in hip-hop to sustain. You don't necessarily have to do music to sustain in the hip-hop culture, right? He has enough music where he could perform for the rest of his life. BG is set for life musically. And there's so many other platforms in hip-hop. You have hence podcasting. You have a lot of different platforms that are adjacent to hip-hop that you could thrive in, all right? And be still as relevant as you was in rapping. All right, shout out to Make It Happen in the building, that part. Big up, family. Trinidad in the building, you heard? We got them all the way out the country, you heard? Hey, you guys do me a favor. Make It Happen. This is one of my, I like this artist right here. I'm going to be real with you, bro. Right? He's one of my favorite artists in reference to artists that are undiscovered. in reference to artists, I feel like they don't get their fair chance. All right. Shout out to Make It Happen in the building. That's fire, brother. You guys do me a favor. Go to YouTube and check out Make It Happen's music. All right. Go on YouTube and run up his YouTube. Very, very intelligent rapper. Very intelligent. All right. He's definitely L.O.T.S approved, stamped. That part. He's very intelligent, man. Speaks about social issues and he's lyrical. And he got dope rhymes. All right. And we're not talking about no backpack. I'm not really a big up of backpack rapping. So he's not a backpack rapper. All right. But shout out to the backpack rappers too. But I'm more so like rappers that are like intelligent but still have street edge. I don't really, when you talk about you're a conscious rapper, but you have no street edge to you, I don't really gravitate to that because I can't identify with that, but I still respect that, right? Because I respect hip hop as an art form in the whole. All right, so shout out to the backpack rappers, shout out to the conscious rappers, shout out to the gangster rappers, shout out to the hippie get high rappers, Wiz Khalifa rappers, shout out to all rappers. All right, hip hop forever remain. So back to BG, like I said, Sean Poe came home. Sean got deported. Sean got deported as soon as he got released from federal prison. Sean did about 10 years, I believe, and he got deported to Belize. All right, shout out to Belize, in which his father, I believe, is the prime minister in Belize. All right, correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but his father is a big government official in Belize. But nonetheless, Sean has yet to return to his vocal status. Sean has yet to return to his musical status of where he was prior to being incarcerated. All right. He dropped a project while he was incarcerated called Godfather, but Sean has not returned back to that spot. And I'm only saying that big up to Sean Poe, because Sean Poe is one of my favorite artists. Facts though. All right. Nonetheless, he wasn't able to return back to that spot after 10 years. 10 years is a long time in hip hop. 10 years. Listen, for the cats that did 10 years in prison and try to come home and get back their spot, doing 10 years in hip hop, when you come home, first of all, hip hop changes every 4 to 5. Let me say 40. Every 5 to 6 years, hip hop changes. Like literally, the complexion of hip hop changes. All right. Hip hop is forever evolving. Hip hop is the youngest art form out of all art forms. Well, not since the coming of reggaeton. Reggaeton, I believe, is the latest art form, right? But prior to reggaeton, hip hop is the youngest art form. Hip hop is we just had our 50th year anniversary. So shout out to hip hop 50th anniversary. And like I said, we're the youngest art form. Throughout history, when I'm seeing rappers that get incarcerated after 10 years, I've never seen a rapper after 10 years get incarcerated and vocally able to match where he was prior to being incarcerated. Their vocal cords change. Hip hop as a culture changes every 5 to 6 years, as I was saying, right? So when you come out, it's a whole different, it might be a different look. First of all, fashion-wise, hip hop is constantly evolving, constantly changing. But remember, a thing with fashion is history repeats itself with fashion, right? So, but nonetheless, hip hop changes. So you had to go from baggy jeans to slimmer clothes. People remember you out of the baggy jeans era. Then you have a different implement. Hip hop, a different production comes in. Every couple of years, there's a new type of production coming into hip hop, right? So it's how relevant is your sound in hip hop prior to you being incarcerated. All right. What it was to be gangster back then is a different type of gangster now. There wasn't drill music back then, but niggas was talking about shooting cats, right? So how do you, as now a gangster now, you saw them gangster records and you do 10 years and you come home and now it's drill music. They talking about spinning and things of that nature. How do you feel about adjusting to the new climate? That's a big adjustment. Most rappers cannot adjust to the climate after 10 years. 10 years changing some of your subject matter, changing how you dress, trying to find back that vocal tone. You ever seen somebody try to remake their masters? That's the thing that Ashanti tried to do with Irv Gotti. There's a thing now where you see a lot of artists now, as soon as when the time runs out, time runs out on copyrights and stuff like that. You see a lot of artists now, they're trying to re-record their records. The thing is, when you're an artist, you try to re-record the records. What they're doing is, they're trying to re-record the records so they can get all the proceeds from the records. That's the thing when the copyrights run out, when the patents run out and stuff like that. People recreate. But the thing is now, how are you going to mimic your same vocal tone from 10 years ago? Physically, you're a different person. It's going to be very, very hard to duplicate that same vocal tone, that original vocal tone with a 10-year gap, all right? And that's what you have with hip-hop now. That's what you got with BG. Hopefully BG doesn't experience that. But like I said, after 10 years of being incarcerated, I haven't seen too many rappers that were able to get back to where they were. Vocally, music-wise, meaning the quality of just the music overall, especially being able to adapt, because you're going to have to adapt with the younger. You're going to have to adapt with the younger generation, all right? So nonetheless, shout out to BG. You got a road ahead of you, but you have all the resources. You know what I mean? Your voice is very strong, so you didn't have a light voice, and I think you still came out with that strong voice. Hopefully that was your real voice, because I think Sean Paul's voice probably wasn't his real voice, because Sean Paul used to kind of mimic Biggie, so that probably wasn't even his real voice like that. The same way Pop Smoke, that wasn't Pop Smoke's real voice. Even his brother said he never used to speak like that. His voice is never deep like that. All right. So these are hip hop little things I want to give you guys, let you guys know about. Most people don't pay attention to those details, but nonetheless, shout out to BG. We're super happy BG is back home, man. But once again, let's give some horns for BG. Big up Cash Money Records, and shout out to BG. Welcome home on behalf of L.O.T.S approved media. All right, to y'all. Listen, man, I'm going to go through this comment section, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Like I said before, God, listen, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. You know what I mean? Make sure you guys are getting your notifications up. This is what you guys remember. See, I'm coming on anytime, so get your notifications up so you get notified when I'm going live. All right? Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Don't be a ninja watch. That's a person that be creeping and watching. Don't be no pocket watch. That's a hater. And definitely don't be no peeping Tom. Y'all know they do the peeping times, all right? This is episode number 53 of the Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. Episode number 53. How about that? Clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up, y'all. Clap it up. Clap it up. Listen, man. Listen. We got some things to speak about. Originally, there's a guy from YSL. There's a YSL member that was originally he was convicted. All right, YSL member. Let me see. Let me go into this right quick. How about we goes into this, my friend? All right. Bada bing, bada bing. All right, guys. This YSL member, Young Thug co-defendant YSL Polo convicted of deadly shooting caught on camera. All right, let's just read it. Let's read this. This is off Academics page. Shout out to Academics. According to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Cordarius Dorsey, a.k.a. YSL Polo, was found guilty Wednesday in the 220 fatal shooting of Xavier Oriandor. I'm bad with names, Turner. The killing, which was captured on a surveillance camera, took place outside the barbershop at the Old National Village Discount Mall in College Park, Georgia. Although the suspect's face was hard to identify in the security footage, Dorsey was spotted at the scene wearing the same clothes as the gunman. The man also fit eyewitness descriptions of the assailant. Prosecutors also presented damning text messages that defended the shooting, that the defendant had sent to friends shortly after the shooting. All right. So one read, bruh, I just killed another nigga on Old Nat. While another one read, shorty, I just killed the N-word at the discount. Wow. Okay. I was not aware of that, you guys. Okay, now Dorsey, an alleged member of the Blood Street Gang, was already serving as a life sentence for another murder that was also caught on camera. The incident took place in the 2019 In 2019, when Dorsey allegedly shot and killed 39-year-old father, I'm not even gonna say this name, Solomon Jallo, during an armed robbery outside a gas station. The defendant's criminal history was presented to the jurors during the 6-day trial. Prosecutors pointed out that the man had embarked on a one-man crime spree between the 2019 and 2020 murders. They pointed to the social media they pointed to his social media accounts in which all alleged displayed stolen jewelry and spoke casually about killing people. Alrighty then, son. Now listen. Hold up, swole up. All right, guys. With that being said, all right, this is a YSL member. This guy, the reason I read that, you guys, the guy was doing some strange things in the courtroom. Now, this YSL member, he was seen, and I'm not gonna stay long on this. This is I think it's one of the first members that's been convicted. This guy was seen in court doing a lot of odd things. He was trying to, I think he was not even think. He was trying to plead insanity. If you've seen this guy in court, he was doing a lot of physical things. I don't even know how to mimic what he was doing, because he was doing a lot of odd movements, sporadic movements, and basically he was trying to plead insanity, in which it didn't work to his favor. I've seen people in court. I know some people that pled insanity and it worked. Unfortunately, it did not work for this gentleman. He had a murder case. There was so much evidence there. When you have text messages that are so informing, you see, we just read off the text messages. Those are direct. Those is not. There's no misinterpretation with the way that he wrote those text messages. So with that being said, him trying to plead insanity, you should have known that was not going to work. All right. Nonetheless, even if you was insane, you still had the mental capacity to complete those crimes. And when you do crimes like that, and you happy about what you did, that's an indication that these are somewhat premeditated. When you don't do things premeditated, they call it heat of passion crimes. The heat of passion crimes, you would think that after they're done, there's some type of remorse, because you're like, damn, my anger got the best of me. It was the heat of the passion. But in that case, when you're seeing these text messages, not necessarily so. And this is all alleged. These things are kind of like, me as a street nigga, I bring you guys the news, but still, I'm still skeptical about certain things, and I don't want to condemn certain people, because you have to go through all the logistics, and you have to fully know all the details of the case to give a sound opinion on the case. So me, myself, as a street nigga, I try to stay away from condemning people that are going through the judicial system being prosecuted, as well as this gentleman. Even though he's been found guilty, this gentleman probably is going to go for an appeal, right? I'm assuming there will be a appeal in the future, right? So I don't want to say anything that's condemning for him. But obviously the court did not feel like this man was crazy. So pleading insanity didn't work in his favor. Although the things that he was doing in court, it's kind of hard to say that he wasn't insane. For somebody to put on an act, you got to be crazy to even put on an insane act for that long. How about this? Even if you're faking insanity, you have to be kind of insane to hold up an insane act for that long. Because I'm pretty sure, I'm thinking like, what does he do? He's crazy in court, but when you get back to your dorm, when you get back to your room, you're not acting crazy no more. But what about the inmates that are around you? Does he keep on the act? That's the question. When somebody answer me this question, when you're pleading insanity, when you're acting insane in court, and you're trying to get that, you're trying to plead insanity, how long do you keep up that act? I know some niggas that actually did it, you heard? And I'm going to ask them a question, but I want to ask you guys, does that person keep up, how long does that person keep up the act? When you get back to your dorm, when you get back to your jail cell, do you start back acting normal? Or is it anytime you're in the presence of somebody, you act crazy? Or when you're just in front of people that you can trust, you act normal? What is it? You know what I mean? But nonetheless, shout out to YSL, free thugger. That part, free thugger. Free YFN Lucci. Big up to YFN Lucci and big up the thugger, you heard? Free the whole YSL, damn it. That part. All right, y'all. We spoke about Blueface, all right, and we spoke about YSL. Spoke about BG coming home. Shout out to BG. Shout out to Blueface with the newborn baby. Free YSL. All right, this is a little bit serious, but let me give a shout out to this comment section too. Make sure I always keep my comment section people incorporated. All right. Juan W. Roby, Palmetto Club was the same way. 18 plus. I just don't go lower. All right. Shout out to him. Shout out to Make It Happen. Bless up family. All right. That Skrilla, that part. Shout out to Damon Parada in the building. That part. Shout out to the family. All right. Shout out to Sis Tosh. I see you, love. That part. And once again, shout out to my partner in crime, Planet Goddammit, and big up to Rudolph Balmir. That part, all right? There's a lot this week, fam. It's a lot this week. All right, you guys, there's a brother that goes by the name of Polite. And matter of fact, the brother name is Brother Polite. All right? He's out of the conscious community. Now, Brother Polite, I don't know if you guys have had the pleasure of seeing this brother. He's a very, very intelligent brother. All right? He's one of the most intelligent in the conscious community. Now, this brother has been seen with the TMT team, the money team, Floyd Mayweather team. All right, in which that he's a counselor, he's a financial counselor for a lot of financial advisor for a lot of celebrities. All right, this guy is seen in the most lavish of vehicles. I've seen him inside the Phantom. I've seen him in numerous vehicles. This man also has more than one wife. He's not necessarily not polygamous. I don't know what you would call it, right? But he has more than one wife. Now, this gentleman, like I said, he's super sophisticated. He studies under Dr. Malik York. Don't get scared, all right? But that is his mentor, and sometimes he refers to him as his father. Now, like I said before, he's one of the prominent members in the black community. He's one of the biggest members in the conscious community. And also, this brother is one of the most successful brothers in the conscious community. Shout out to Brother Polite. But we're gonna have to hold back on the shout out. And you guys are gonna know why I'm holding back on the shout out. Now, if you guys know, at one point, I had a Mr. Hakeem Green on the show, in which I invited Hakeem Green on the show. I interviewed him, and I spoke to him about, at one point I spoke to him about Brother Polite. Also, I spoke to him about African Bambaataa. Now, with that being said, when I spoke to this brother about Brother Polite, he refrained from responding to the questions, meaning he did not answer any of the questions, right? He eluded the questions. I had to give it to him. I had to give him his respect. Can't force anybody to answer questions. But what I did take notice of was his body language, how he was uncomfortable with even speaking on Brother Polite. All right. Now, I'm not condemning Brother Polite per se, but Brother Polite is a prominent member in the conscious community. So when you get accused of certain activities, certain behaviors, we have to bring this to the public attention because you are at the forefront. You are trusted, brother. Even though I always say, you guys, make sure you guys don't worship these people. Take the wisdom, take the knowledge, but leave the fuckery. Don't get into their personal lives and what they're doing personally, because that might discourage you in receiving the message, because there's a message behind it. No matter what, you still got to respect the message, no matter what mouth is coming out of, right? Because the truth is the truth. So nonetheless, you guys, the brother goes by the name Brother Polite. He's very successful. You've seen him with numerous celebrities. He's been seen with Floyd Mayweather. He's a financial advisor. He gets a lot of money. Brother Polite dresses very well, all right? Very well. He wears some of the finest, some of the most expensive brands, all right? Luxury brands. This is not common in the conscious community. So Brother Polite is always under scrutiny, because usually when we see somebody that's conscious, we expect them to not care about vain things such as clothing. For some reason, us as human beings, we believe when you're in a conscious community, you don't have vain concerns. You don't care about a bad bitch. You don't care about jewelry. You don't care about looking fly. You don't care about certain accolades. And this is what was so contrary to this brother. Brother Polite is the prototype of the new generation of conscious. I ain't gonna say the new generation, but he's a prototype of a different route that you can take. Because sometimes those type of things that I just spoke about can discourage you about being in the conscious community, because we think conscious community, you're damn near a reverend. right? Like as if you the man of the cloth and you wear one of those things, right? Like you're a reverend, a pastor. That's not so. Brother Polite, he showed that you can have a bad bitch. Brother Polite showed you can have a bad bitch. Brother Polite shows you could be conscious, intelligent, and have a phantom. All right. Brother Polite showed you that you could be confident, sophisticated, and come from a background that's less favorable, like gang-related background, violent background, street background, drug dealer background. These are the things that Brother Polite had in his on his jacket, right? So me myself coming from the streets, L.O.T.S approved, leader of the streets, lord of the streets, learning off the streets, living off the, etc. When I looked at Brother Polite, I looked at him as an example of what a brother, an intelligent brother from the streets can do. So once again, I hold Brother Polite up to a different standard, right? And this channel is not about condemning people. But you guys, Brother Polite was one point, he was accused of I'm not sure, sexual abuse. It was something with a minor. He did something with a minor. All right. In which Brother Polite has a recently he's been sentenced. Okay. So guys, Brother Polite, like I said, he's a conscious brother from the conscious community. He went through a situation. There was a situation with him and his stepdaughter. All right. She's not his biological daughter. Some things took place. He had the girl in the room, woo-de-woo. There was some allegations. That subsequently led to him being arrested for some inappropriate behavior with a minor. All right. This saddened me. Why it saddened me? Because the conscious community, when we think about reverends and we think about the conscious community and we think about the leaders of our community, spiritual leaders of our community, pervertedness is always a concern. It's an underlying thing that some people don't like to address. We're not going to go too deep into that. I love saying that. But that's always a concern. All right. So with that being said, Brother Polite, he was accused of these things in which he was found guilty. You guys, Brother Polite, let's go into this. Brother Polite was sentenced to 7 years prison. He was given a 7-year prison sentence with 10 years probation upon release. Also, he has to take sex offender courses, which is required. All right, Hakeem Green, this is what I was asking you about, brother. You know what I mean? I still appreciate you as a brother. You know what I mean? Maybe I see why you didn't want to touch that subject, but nonetheless, we just playing our position, our community. We have to address certain things as people in our community. All right, Brother Polite, I don't know what to say. I'm definitely super disappointed. Mega disappointed. How I regarded you, I held you in high regard. I spoke about you in high regard. I respected what you did and what you contribute to the world, right? To the Black community, conscious community, to communities amongst communities. But you definitely failed. You failed us. I want to say that. 7 years, and he's gonna have to do 10 years probation and sex the courses that he has to take. All right, we're not gonna spend too long on that, but nonetheless, you guys, Brother Polite was given 7 years prison sentence and 10 years probation upon release. All right, yeah, he was arrested for that, for those sex, how you call it, sex offender. Yeah. All right, moving along. Moving along. Shout out to Tasha. Tasha sent some information that we're gonna look at. All right. Let's speak about this. There's a couple things that we're gonna speak about, a couple more things. Let's get on a lighter note, man. Let's get up out of that room, man. Cause you guys see that shit kind of like sucks energy out of me to speak about that, especially with the brothers that I hold in high regard like that. I don't want to report about Brother Polite. I didn't want to report that about Brother Polite, to be honest with you. But we got to step to it. We got to stand. We got to confront these things. Like I said, we got to confront the devil. We got to look the devil in the mirror. Look in the mirror. You gotta stare the devil in the eye. All right. So let's address the elephant in the room. Now, moving along, lighter note. All right. You guys know there's an artist that goes by the name of Young Blue. Young Blue is rapper Boosie's former artist, or maybe some would say that's his present artist. Now, Young Blue was signed to Boosie's label, Badass Syndicate, right? He was signed to them. We all knew that he was signed. He was actually signed to. I seen Boosie promoting him, not necessarily financially promoting, but I heard Boosie verbally promoting him as his artist. All right. Nonetheless, I was aware of Young Blue prior to Boosie. He had some type of he's had some type of success with his records, but not on a national level. All right. So this guy signed with Boosie. Now, Boosie has a brother that goes by the name of TQ. All right. Now, TQ has been seen recently on a lot of different platforms in which TQ has been seen on a lot of different platforms. All right. And this is Boosie's brother. And this is Boosie Terrence Hatch's older brother. All right. Now, this guy supposedly is responsible for discovering Young Blue. All right. Now, you know Young Blue with that beautiful lies. You know, he just did the song. He has a feature with Drake. He has a Drake feature, which catapulted him into success. All right. Well, you see him at currently now. Now, he was founded by TQ. TQ is Boosie's older brother. Now, as of recently, Young Blue has signed. Young Blue signed for X amount of M's, millions, right? He was originally in contract. He was contractually in some type of contractual agreement with Boosie's label, Badass Syndicate. But as you guys seen, Boosie has took it online in which Boosie started saying that his brother stole from him. Boosie said his brother stole from him, TQ, and also Blue stole from him, in which Boosie said allegedly that his name was forged. All right. So Boosie is claiming that his name was forged contractually to get Blue his new deal, in which he said that he wasn't financially compensated for that neither. Now, Boosie's seen online, Boosie's going off on his brother. He's threatening his brother. And he's also seen slightly threatening in Blue. You know what I mean? And when I say that, you know what I mean, we tread lightly on that because I don't think that he's going to follow through with any of those threats, to be honest with you. I know Boosie knows better. All right. Nonetheless, he's been seen going to having an online confrontation with his brother and Blue. Now, as of recently, Blue has been saying some things about Boosie. Now, when Blue has responded to Boosie, Blue hasn't said nothing thus far. Like Boosie kept saying things about Blue, bringing up Blue and his brother, accusing them of stealing. All right. Now, Blue has finally responded. Blue said some things. I'm not going to go through all the things that he said because we're not here. I'm not here to tear down black culture. A lot of times when you rappers be falling out with each other, y'all start telling each other businesses, but at the same time, y'all diminish y'all character. Y'all devalue your character and what y'all mean to the people. So I'm not going to assist you in doing that. Sometimes I might participate in your destruction, but in this case, I'm not going to do that. So now, Young Blue was seeing he's going off on Boosie woo-de-woo. He said he offered Boosie $2 million. So apparently Boosie wants more than $2 million. So Boosie's alleging that TQ, his older brother, he forged his signature, in which he got Blue signed to another deal. All right. So they were signed to Columbia. They had a deal with Columbia that eventually it dissolved. Right. He also went to say that Boosie blocked him. As of 2 years now, Boosie has blocked his brother from doing any type of dealings, contractual dealings with the Columbia. So that subsequently dissolved the relationship between Badass Syndicate and Columbia. Now, this is all allegedly that TQ is saying, which is Boosie's older brother. All right, so apparently TQ is heavily into the Badass Syndicate. When you're speaking of the executive decisions, he has a lot to do with the executive decisions. According to TQ, he said that he's forged his brother's signature. And let me not just say forged, because that term, I don't know if it's forged. Let's just go with that. Let's not be too technical. He said he's been forging his brother's signature, but his brother allowed him to do that. He says when it's time to do a show, when Boosie's trying to do a show and doing all the contractual agreements, he said he's the one that actually signs those shows, signs those contracts. He signs the contract. So he's trying to say that he does have some type of power to do that. Did he have the power to sign Blue? That's another question, right? But nonetheless, it seems like the brother's pleading his case, and the brother seems like he's starting to get intimidated. All right. Boosie brother TQ was seen online. He's saying that he has Boosie's fans are contacting him, sending him emails, leaving him comments, threatening his life. And this is what comes with social network. Not to say that any of these people are actually going to commit the crimes that they're claiming that they're going to do, but one would still speculate. When you're dealing with the world and you're dealing with random people sending you messages in the world, you got to remember the world is crazy. You can't take every threat as a frivolous threat, though you never met this person, though you know this person has no real issues with you. In this crazy world, there's a thing called fans. And a fan is a fanatic. And when you're a fanatic, psychologically, you're kind of desperate for attention. You're desperate to see that artist. And that creates a different type of mental space. So these people are not mentally right. When you're a fanatic, you're not all the way right in the head. So you have Boosie fanatics that are targeting his brother TQ, in which he addressed that. All right. TQ seemed like, I know TQ loves his brother. I know he loved Boosie, but according to TQ, he's relentless. Boosie has no remorse. He has no remorse for him. And I don't know if Boosie's right or wrong in this instant, because the brother seems like he is partially guilty. TQ seems like he's a bit guilty. All right. And he's kind of dancing around the questions. The way TQ dances around those questions, I'm a street nigga. All right. And I know when somebody's dancing around a question, especially when these are legally binding questions. There's certain questions that people can ask you that can be held in the court of law, that can be used in the court of law against you. So when you're seeing TQ speak, he's speaking very precautious about everything that he says. He doesn't let you assume anything. He doesn't leave things up to speculation. And when I get that, when I'm looking at that, sometimes I'm looking like, damn, he's dodging a lot of questions. So I was skeptical about Boosie's brother. I'm skeptical about Boosie's brother. I'm skeptical about the deal with Blue. I'm skeptical about everything, because from what they're saying is that Boosie has contractually broken. There was a contract breach, is what they're saying. They're saying that Boosie did not hold up his end of the contract with Young Blue. All right, and subsequently that led to Blue signing with another label. All right, non-disclosure, non-closure. It was something, I forgot the term. We don't know all the terms, but apparently Blue contractually was able to work with other labels. All right, but this is my whole thing, Young Blue. I understand that, but let's be real. You were signed to Boosie. Young Blue was signed to Boosie. All right, no matter what contractor you signed that contract, you agreed to it, and this is very important. All right, though. You remember what they tell Young Blue? You don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. Let me say this again, y'all. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. And hopefully you negotiate what you deserve. That's how it goes. All right. So when you make a contractual agreement with somebody and it's not the contractual, you look at it, you look at all the stipulations, it's not in your best interest. Certain things doesn't work in your favor. Once you sign that, bro. And you will be held accountable for that. Now, in the court of law, who knows what's going to be dispelled? We'll leave that to the court of law. I don't know how that goes in the court of law when you fight copyright and ownership and all and stuff like that. I don't know how that goes. But nonetheless, Young Blue was signed to Boosie, and there was something strange that went on. Yes, they did this without Boosie's knowledge. They pushed the issue, in which I think that they shouldn't have been able to do that. I think that they shouldn't have been able to do that, right? Now, this is just my opinion. But I understand why they're moving on from Badass Syndicate. I understand why they did it. But it's not about why you did it. It's about, are you going to get away with it? And did you do something that was legal? Will that hold up in the courts? So what we're waiting to see how this ends up in court with Boosie, his brother TQ, and Young Blue. All right, it started off with Young Blue. He gave Boosie $100,000 after he got shot or whatever, which obviously is not enough. Boosie was not aware that apparently that $100,000 was a payoff, but it was disguised as a gift. So Boosie was under the impression that was a gift, but in actuality, that was a payoff for what he owes him, right? Obviously, he owes him more. So now they went as far to even tell Boosie that they're going to give him $2 million now, right? Boosie's brother now is saying that Boosie's trying to sue him and take everything he owns. Boosie's brother is saying that Boosie is trying to make him go broke. Boosie's trying to take all his cars. He already discredited him, so it's going to be hard for his brother to kind of work in the industry because Boosie's kind of saying that his brother is untrustworthy. All right. So Boosie basically saying that his brother's saying that Boosie is paralyzing him. Boosie's paralyzing him as his position in industry and also financially. All right. But nonetheless, Boosie being offered $2 million. Now Boosie's saying he's going for $10 million. So Boosie declined the $2 million that his brother's offering, and not his brother's offering, but Blue is offering $2 million. Blue is offering $2 million, in which his brother said he confirmed that. TQ confirmed that Blue is offering Boosie $2 million, but Boosie declined the $2 million. Boosie said he wants $10 million now. All right, and it's all in the realm of negotiation, right? You guys don't look at the numbers and shit like that. It's all in the realm of negotiation. So we don't know how this is gonna end up in actuality, but I'm pretty sure that Boosie will be compensated. There will be some money being made. But not to stay on this too long, but when I'm looking at it, Boosie probably would have preferred to have Blue under his label still, right? And I'm not sure that Blue is still under Badass Syndicate, all right? But I'm going to say it like this. Shout out to Boosie. Shout out to Young Blue. And shout out to your big brother, Boosie's big brother, TQ. I hope that Boosie and TQ can make amends, all right? I know they spoke about $300,000 missing, in which his brother got arrested for that. They're saying that there was some type of fraud being committed. They was doing some insurance fraud or whatever, allegedly, in which the charges were dropped to his defense, all right? So he was innocent, basically. So shout out to TQ. Hopefully TQ and Boosie can get back together and be brothers like they need to be. All right. From what I'm hearing, that TQ is responsible for a lot for Boosie's career and his success. And I never knew that TQ was even so much a part of Boosie's career up until this interview that he did with Sean Cotton, Say Cheese. So shout out to Say Cheese. Shout out to Sean Cotton on that great interview with Boosie's brother TQ. All right. That part. And I need some water. You guys see when I start getting tongue-tied, that's because I need to drink some water. All right. There's a few more things here, y'all. Few more things. Let's go over some things that Tosh had went over with me. All right. Now, okay, we speak about that. You guys know about the little baby. Let's go to a few things. We're not gonna stay too long on that. All right, little baby, a recent shooting at a concert. All right, in Tennessee, I believe that was Memphis, Thursday night. This after one person was shot and critically injured. Baby was whisked off stage after the bullets started flying on the first floor, according to WREG News. All right, so you guys know that there was a recent concert in Memphis, and I believe that Glorilla was one of the performers there too, because she spoke about that too. But definitely there was a shooting at Little Baby's concert. I pray that everybody's okay. Like I said, I'm hearing that one person was shot and is critically injured, and we're praying for that person also. All right, you guys, let's do better. Let's do better. You guys make sure you guys are going out to these concerts. You guys make sure that y'all protect yourselves. Okay, we're not gonna stay too long on that part. All right, CEO Jizzle, another shooting in Memphis. Now, Memphis is on fire. And shout out to Memphis, man. Big up to Memphis. Memphis has some of the greatest artists thus far. Memphis is running the hip-hop game right now. Memphis, artists for artists. Memphis is producing the most artists in hip-hop right now, the most quality artists in hip-hop. All right. And you know, that's big for me because at Florida, before then, Florida was producing the most artists. All right. But right now I'm seeing Memphis is Memphis' turn. So shout out to everybody in Tennessee. Shout out to the Memphis niggas. All right. All right. So this is a guy by the name of Jizzle, CEO Jizzle. All right. This is from TMZ. All right. CEO Jizzle, the Memphis-based rapper, and Young Dolph. All right. Paper Rock Empire camp, who was shot during Lil Baby's concert Thursday night, appears to be okay, and the cops are still trying to find the suspects. For now, cops are gathering video and asking the public to call Crime Stoppers. All right, they give a phone number with any additional info that might lead to an arrest. All right, so this guy, you guys know it's an ongoing thing with Paper Rock, CMG. It's an ongoing thing, all right? We're not going to go too much into that. You guys just I'll keep you updated as things are being released online. But nonetheless, it's self-explanatory. If you guys haven't been familiar with the story, get familiar with the Paper Route and CMG. Do your homework with that shit going on. All right. All right. We're going to something else, bro. Bada bing, bada bing. Bada bing. All right. Listen, man. Check this out, bro. I don't know what picture. I don't know if the picture's online. All right, man. All right. Listen, man, I got to give a shout out. I got to give a shout out to one of the guys, one of my favorite guys, man. One of my favorites I speak about, Kanye West. All right, you guys. Kanye West has made the news again. All right. Kanye West and his wife, Bianca Censori, can't seem to stay out of trouble in Italy. The couple has reportedly been barred from using a Venice boat rental company due to the incident exposure. All right, the ban stems from an incident that the incident last Monday when the rapper and his model wife were riding in a water taxi through the historic island city, according to Daily Mail Australia. All right, you guys know. Listen, Kanye West was seen taking a boat ride. All right. He was taking a boat ride with his wifey in Venice. Now, you guys know how it is in Italy. You see people. You always saw in the cartoons, they be in Italy and they sitting on the boat and the guy's pushing the boat along. You know, one of the most romantic things you can do with a woman. Now, mind you, I'm a hood nigga. I don't know nothing about going to Venice with the man with the gondola. And that's how you say it? I don't even know if that's how you say it. But I know nothing about sitting on boats in Venice, all right? But nonetheless, Kanye West was seen out there. Now, I don't know if you guys seen a picture. There's a picture of Kanye West sitting on the boat. Now, while Kanye West is on the boat, he has his wife between his legs. All right, beautiful wife. Some say she resembles Kim Kardashian. Nonetheless, that's his wife. All right. But I heard they're not really married. But never mind. Kanye West is seen with the lady on the boat. Now, the lady's sitting between Kanye West's lap. Now, you guys know us in the hood. Not even a hood nigga. Everybody was in the assumption that Kanye was getting head. Let's just call a spade a spade. When Kanye had his wifey between his legs, all of us was on the assumption that Kanye was getting head. She was faced towards him. She was between his crotch. All right. Also, Kanye pants was down. There's a picture showing Kanye West pants down. I don't know if his crack was showing, right? But that part was blurred out. But nonetheless, there's a picture online with Kanye West seen with his pants down and his wife between his legs. It was very suggesting. Very suggesting. Nonetheless, they're saying that Kanye West has been barred from that rental company in Venice. Man, let me tell you something. First of all, shout out to Kanye West. Shout out to Kanye West. Big up to Kanye West. Listen, man, that was legendary. Kanye West is legendary. Legendary, all right? Who gets head on a boat in Venice knowing that paparazzi may be watching, all right? A person like that, this is a high-profile, iconic artist, okay? Everything that Kanye West does is legendary. Kanye West, people saw Kanye West getting head. Let me tell you something. If it was a regular person like my black ass, nobody would have cared that I was getting head on a boat. Nobody would have cared. The average civilian, the average person, nobody would have cared. But because it was Kanye West, we care. That picture of Kanye West getting head on that boat, that's iconic. First of all, remember Kanye West and Jay-Z, niggas in Paris, okay? So when you see Kanye West doing things like this, you got to applaud him. Applaud that brother. That's success. That's ultimate success. Getting head in Venice on a boat. That's the ultimate success. That's a rock star. Kanye West is a rock star. Kanye West got barred. He's barred from that rental company. They won't let him rent there no more. Why? Because he's worth $1 billion. Why? Because he's got a beautiful wife of the Caucasian persuasion. Why? Because he's able to get head on a boat in Venice. Why? Because everywhere he goes, people surveillance him and take any picture that they can of him, and people get paid thousands of dollars just to take a photo of Kanye in a compromising position. Yeah. Listen, Kanye West is a rock star. One of the best rock stars of our generation, man. It's a pleasure to watch Kanye West nonetheless. To all the naysayers, I'm not condemning y'all. I'm not telling y'all to love Kanye West. I know a lot of people are opposed to Kanye West. But me, myself, I am an advocate of Kanye West, and I love that, man. You getting head in Venice on a boat, billionaire activities. The man wasn't even wearing underwear, I don't think, bro. Pause on that. You know what I mean? But they say you don't wear underwears when you're on yachts and shit like that. I don't know, y'all. When people get rich, they do different things. Rich people do different things. Things that you do on a regular level when you're rich, you don't get scrutinized for certain things, all right? But that's a whole different conversation. Shout out to Kanye West, man. Shout out to Kanye West's wife. Y'all did it up in Venice, that part. Y'all got barred, all right? Y'all rock stars in my eyes, all right? Keep it up, champ. Keep it up. Shout out to Kanye West. And as of recent, I've heard that Kanye West is back to being a billionaire. I don't know who can confirm that for me, but yes, I'm hearing that Kanye West is back being a billionaire, all right? Shout out to Kanye West, man. Big up to Yeezy. That part, be easy. And shout out to Bianca too. All right. You guys, let me reset the building. All right. This is the Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast, episode number 53. And this is powered by L.O.T.S approved media. I go by the name of L.O.T.S approved. I'm the incomparable, the author imitated, but cannot be duplicated. The one they took their style from, the one who keeps creating it and you keep taking it. That part, street appointed, street elected. That part. All right. We're gonna bring this to a closure. We ran through a lot of subjects. This is a very eventful week. I like this week. Sometimes we come on here and there's not too much things to speak about, but we always gonna find something to speak about, right? Big up to all the parties involved. You guys make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you guys hit that like button before you guys leave the building. All right. Make sure you guys are going to the channel, subscribing to the channel. If you're a first-time watcher, that means if you're a first-time watcher, that means that you probably haven't subscribed as of yet, and you should probably subscribe right now, right? If you're a reoccurring viewer, you should be ashamed if you're not subscribed to this channel. If you've seen this more than once, if you've seen my podcast more than once, you should already be subscribed to the channel. All right, you guys, this is episode number 53. In the next coming weeks, we will have some guests on the channel. This stream, this platform is not guest-based, but we will have some guests on this platform, all right? Once again, I want you guys to make sure that you guys enjoy your weekend. Make sure you guys stay safe for the weekend, all right? And if God permits, I will see you guys next Friday, all right? And do me a favor, make sure you guys hit that like button on the way out. With that being said, just a little bit of the outro music. That part, outro music. L.O.T.S approved media. We did it again. Episode number 53. Come back for next week. If God permits, I'll be back with you guys next week, and we're gonna do this again and again and again. All right. We out the building, man. Enjoy the weekend. Don't do too much out there. Don't do shit I wouldn't do. That part.